I welcome you back. Thank you for staying with us this morning. This is Newspaper Headlines and Analysis, and I'm not alone in the studio. I have with me Litre a journalist and public affairs analyst. Welcome on board.
How are you?
I'm very well. Let's start from this headline on the Guardian newspaper that says that petrol may hit 1,163 naira per litre as federal government target 4.8 trillion naira yearly from fresh tariff. And when I read the report, it said that the federal government is doing this to ensure that, unfair pricing, is over, and also to boost our local refineries that a lot of Nigerians have given up on. What do you make of this, really?
Yes, according to the Federal Land Revenue Service boss, SAC Adedeji, that's what he told Nigerians that there's a kind of disparity between the locally made petrol and imported, and they want to, adjust that price. But what one would have expected that the federal government should have created a kind of marginal framework, for market price of these petroleum products and ensure fair competition. Most times when federal government or any government at all, when you are the one that determines the price, of any products, not only petroleum, you'll be adding more hardship, because what they have done now is 15% increment. It's as if they want to, now we'll be buying, now petrol is at 9.15, 9.20. Maybe in the next few days, you'll now be seeing petrol stations adjusting their price to 1,050 naira, 1,100 naira. And, petrol, it's a commodity that affects everybody, all Nigerians. Whether you have a car, whether you don't have a car, whether you are a trader, whether you are a student, everybody. Because by the time, they start selling petrol as 1,050, 1,100 naira, of course, it goes around, transportation, the high price of foodstuffs. And so, it is not a good thing. It is not too good. One would have expected the federal government to find a means of, even if you want to increase your internally generated revenue, you should have look elsewhere, and not on the products, that brings virtually all Nigerians, you remove petroleum subsidy, people are still complaining. We are just, gradually getting out of the pains, and the hardship of fuel subsidy, if at all, if Nigerians are getting out of fuel subsidy hardship. But now we have another 15% increment. It is, I totally disagree with the federal government, and if you want to increase IGL, I think there are better ways, to do that, and it should not be on, petroleum products. Some people are arguing that, all these things are geared toward encouraging Dangote refinery. Yes, it is good to encourage locally, our local refineries, but don't do that at the expense of Nigerians. If you want to encourage Dangote, you can find another ways, another means, of encouraging Dangote. You want to stop petrol importation into Nigeria. Yes, it's good, but the question is, do we have enough petroleum products that can go around Nigeria, that can go around the country? Because if you are saying you want to discourage importation, you want to encourage Dangote refinery, by the time can Dangote produce all that we need in this country?
Okay, I think Dangote talked about increasing, his barrel per day to 1 million above.
See, we should not be waiting until Dangote. What we are saying is that, do we have in Dangote refinery, do we have that product already? By the time you stop importation, or you are hiking the importation VAT and tax and all those stuff, all because you want to encourage Dangote, do we have that product even in Dangote refinery? Because if you don't have that product, we need maybe 4 million barrels per day in Nigeria, and Dangote is producing 1 million barrels per day. There will be scarcity of the product. That is another problem. So why can't you just create a kind of market framework and make sure that there is fair competitions, among whether you are producing locally or you are importing. You know, you don't have to bring in because you want to, just because of one person, you want to encourage Dangote, and you are now, you know, increasing this, increasing that, you know, trying to discourage. Yes, it's good to encourage our local refineries, local manufacturers, local companies, but don't do that at the expense. Nigeria, we are just growing. So you understand? So you don't, you know, all these things are not something that you can just do in one day. So if you are sure that Dangote can supply all what we need in Nigeria, if you are sure that we have more than enough, you know, like 3 4 years ago, during the government of President, like even 5 years ago, during the regime of President, late President Mahmoud Buhari, there was a time rice importation was banned in this country, and we now depended solely on the production of local farmers. And as at that time, even the imported rice was sold as high as 100,000, 110,000 in this country. But what we are seeing is that before you take all these type of decisions, make sure that we have abundance in Nigeria. Because if you don't have, you know, what you are just trying to avoid, you know, in fact, it will even be more worse than what you don't want. You know, you are avoiding a car. Now you now go and eat a trailer. It's not too good. So it is very important for federal government to make sure that, do we have these products in abundance? Yes, if you have it in abundance, and we are sure that Dangote refinery can sustain the production of all what we need in Nigeria. Yes, we are Nigerians. Dangote is in Nigeria. Let's go. But don't bring in more hardship on Nigeria after the removal of fuel subsidy. Now increment of 15%. You know, Nigeria now be paying over 99% on, you know, petroleum product. It is not too good.
What is the usefulness of our refineries apart from Dangote refineries now? Because I read a story yesterday talking about, you know, the NNPC, you know, speaking about our refineries, because Nigerians are saying, why can't we sell it off and use the money for something much better?
Well, the truth of the matter is that, you know, before the coming of biojewelry, you know, the Mele Kyari of those days, you know, was telling Nigerians that our refineries are working. It was until biojewelry came and just opened the can of worms that these refineries, yes, they are working, but you are pumping in almost 10, you are pumping in 10 million, for example, you are pumping in 10 million naira, you are generating 1 million naira. What is the essence of the refinery? So the best thing is for us to sell them off. But I don't know why the federal government, Dangote has even applied, you know, to take over these refineries. But I don't know why federal government, you know, are not thinking towards selling off these refineries. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has claimed that, yes, the refineries are not working, but they are our national assets. And he doesn't want to sell a national asset. But for me, if you have a national asset that is not working, so what is the essence of that? Is national asset a national museum? You know, it is only a museum that you keep artifacts and artworks, you know, because of the incoming generation, next generations, you know, for, you know, historical purposes. But are we keeping our refineries for historical purpose? If they are not working, you know, it can be sold off. But I don't know, you know, I don't know the decisions why President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at that time took that decision. Maybe, possibly, the decision can still be changed. Maybe.
I think that's very possible. Let's look at for other two players. Let's talk about the service chiefs now. There's a story I read this morning that talks about the fact that the president crowned them, you know, recently. You know, the investiture happened recently, and then he said something very profound. He said, "Deal with these enemies. I'll provide all that you need." Now that they've been crowned, new faces in town, should we expect, you know, results in the security apparatus of the country?
Yes, that's the tradition, you know. You know, the moment you have new sheriffs in town, you know, you see so much noises, you know, like yesterday, you know, I was reading I saw the chief of army staff, Waid Shaibu. He has made so many changes, you know, posting and redeployment of army chiefs in his command. Yes, we are hopeful that with the coming of these new service chiefs, things will be better. Then we have more. We have improvements in the area of terrorism and banditry, and you know. But one thing that is clear, and it is the fact that the federal government, you know, has been trying its best, you know, making provisions for most of the things that our gallant officers, you know, all those weapons, all those ammunitions that they need to confront these terrorists and bandits. But another way, another step that I'm expecting the new service chiefs to take is to look at the welfare of these army officers.
Okay.
Especially those, you know, at the combat field. You know, from so many informations, reliable informations that we are getting, you know, most of these officers are not being well taken care of. So there is a need for the new service chiefs, you know, a directive from the new chief of defense staff to all the service chiefs to critically look, you know, at the welfare, you know, because you know, it is very difficult for someone, you know, for a man to leave his wife and his children. You send that person to Sambisa Forest fighting, you know, even if you are providing him with good ammunition and weapons, he will always be thinking about his family back home. So how well are you taking care of the families of these people at the war front? So my appeal to these service chiefs is for them to, you know, give priority, you know, to the welfare of the junior ones, especially the combatants.
So they don't vote.
So that, you know, aside from revolt, some of them, you know, at the war front, they run away. You know, we have seen so many of them. You know, sometimes the guy was, you know, someone was, you know, I was at the gathering and a man was saying that he ran away. You know, can we call that a retired army officer or a runaway army officer? He said he ran away, he dropped the weapon and he ran away because they are not being well taken care of. And the man said he remembered his wife, he remembered his 5 children, and they are not getting what they need to get. So the man was, you know, I was just, you know, listening, and the man said he dropped the weapon and he fled. So no benefits, no allowance, no gratuity, no pension. But the man said he's happy because he's now with his family, even though things are not the way they used to be. But he believes that he will still bounce back. So it is very important for these service chiefs to take good care. You know, it's not easy you hand over ammunition, weapons to someone to go and be fighting, and you are not taking care of his family at home. It is, you know, go to some of our barracks, and you see dilapidated buildings. You know, are you taking care of them health-wise? You know, their salaries, their emoluments, you know, allowances, all those things need to be looked at. So I believe that enough of you want to buy ammunitions, enough of let us talk about the welfare of this army officer. Let us talk about the welfare of these combatants. You know, it should not be only the lieutenant general, the generals, the brigadier general, the colonel that you're enjoying. You know, the truth of the matter is that most of these junior officers, you know, the warrant officers, the sergeants, the captains, they need to be well taken care of. You know, if you want to, you know, for you to get the best out of a man, you have to take care of him. You have to encourage him. By the time you encourage him, give him all his family needs, you will see that the person we put up is very best. So my appeal to the service chiefs is, you know, don't let us continue to be doing it the way we've been doing it. You know, by the time most of these service chiefs are out of service, you now be, you know, will be, by the time you started, you know, by the time you start earning figures of money, you know, look at the case of Dasuki, Sambu Dasuki. Look, so most of these people are not well taken care of, and they you know, they are complaining. But the truth of the matter is that who will they complain to? You know, they are not like a civil servant, public servant that goes on strike, and they don't go on strike. But whatever they are facing, you know, but most of them are they will just run away. So most of them will even collaborate with the terrorists. We have seen some of them that gives their arms to terrorists, they give weapons to bandits, and you know, they work with them. So what the word that we are even fighting is as if we take 2 steps forward, then 5 steps back. So it is very important for the new service chiefs to look critically at the welfare of those that are working, you know, under them. Very, very important.
I think you're spot on, because one of the reasons that led to one coup at a time in the past was because the junior officers felt they were not taken care of. and so they partnered with some other persons, though the coup failed, but then that was what led to it. Okay, let's talk about another issue, because I think that's a very good advice, though. I just hope that the people who need it to listen.
Yes,
This headline on The Guardian says, APC gains upper hand in House as defections reshape power balance. Some measures are saying it appears APC has taken over the entire country and 2027 is a done deal. But then the likes of PDP, even ADA, recently, INEC has given us an info to say, okay, they've scaled through the process, and of course, the registration is on the way. ADA, APC, or not APC now, Labour Party and the likes, what happens to them? This is not the first time that we'll have like over 20 governors in a certain political party. It happened with the PDP in the past, but then they lost the election in 2015.
Sure.
What do you make of this?
The truth of the matter is that, see, like I used to, this is the first time Nigeria will be having a politician as the president of Nigeria. Like I used to say, most of the presidents that we've had in the past, they are circumstantial presidents, From 1999, Obasanjo, we all know the reason why Obasanjo emerged as the president, Jonathan. So this is the first time that we will be having a core politician as the president of Nigeria. And this man understands politics. As we speak now, we have 25 governors of APC. The time you are talking about, we have almost 28, 29 governors.
Still counting for APC, actually.
For PDP then, you understand? But the truth of the matter is that, the difference between then and now is that then, we have circumstantial politicians. But now we have a core politician. It will be so difficult. It is possible, but it will be so difficult to outsmart someone like Bola Ahmed Tinubu. This is a man that 1999 to 2007, he was the last man standing, in the opposition parties, especially in the Southwest. And look at the trajectory of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Look at what happened, during 2023 general elections. Look at all the machinations, look at all the plans, so many things happened. But this man emerged. Now, the man is sitting on the chair now, So what do you think? You can look at yesterday, all members of PDP from Enugu State in the House of Reps, followed their governor to APC. So, this is, if you observe in the last 1 month or thereabouts, you will observe that all this noise about ADC, Labour, everything, you understand? So this man understands this game, and this man, he knows how to reward, he knows how to compensate, even though there may still be some disgruntled members of APC that are complaining, but this man knows how to take care of everybody. So for me, I don't see President Bola, just like Wike said sometimes ago that 2027 general elections for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a done deal. For me, if you considered all the, where is ADC today? Nobody is saying anything from there.
But people are defected to the ADC too. Are you aware?
How many people? Okay. See, in the whole of National Assembly, we have just one ADC senator. Just one. Just one. How many ADC households do we have? How many ADC governors do we have? How many ADC senators do we have? How many ADC local government? See, I don't know, anything can happen in politics, but looking at the indices that we have as we speak now. Before that, in the last 2-3 months, we hear of ADC, Labour Party, Peter Obi, Atiku, El-Rufai, Amechi. Where are they now?
What if PDP and ADC comes together? Just like what we had in 2014, coalition.
The truth of the matter is that it will be very, very difficult for PDP and ADC to come together, because PDP is having their own agenda, ADC is having their own agenda. Now, PDP has already sown their national chairmanship position to the north. So they're expecting that
presidential candidate should come from the south.
And, ADC are saying that their ticket is free for all. Anybody can pick it. And we all understand the game that is being played out in PDP as we speak. We know that our governor in all states is planning to take over the ticket of the PDP, presidential ticket of the PDP. So that is, and Governor Shimagide is one of the leading leader of PDP as we speak. So, and It's going to be so difficult for Governor Seyi Makinde to work with someone like Atiku Abubakar, who Governor Seyi Makinde himself has described as a retired politician. So there are two parallel lines that will be so difficult that they can even, if they will meet at all, it will be very, very difficult.
Let's watch out for that, because anything can happen. Let's talk about
our fingers crossed.
Definitely. We'll talk about it soon enough. Let's talk about Natasha Akpoti-Addo. We saw a report yesterday where she invited Senator Akpabio and the other senators, and just like you're laughing, some senators also laughed, because a lot of them did not expect it. But then Nigerians are saying you do not expect these two individuals to fight forever. This invite now, should Akpabio attend the event, will it put an end to all this brawl that has started from March up until now, really?
Yeah, do you know what? Politics is a very funny, I don't want to call it game. Politics is so funny.
Okay.
Who would have expected that in a day like this, in a time like this, Natasha will be inviting Akpabio to come and commission projects for her. But never say never in politics. You understand? Politics is so dynamic. There is no permanent enemy in politics. There is no permanent friend in politics. Like I used to say, politicians, especially in Nigeria, they are so greedy, selfish. It's all about me. In Natasha in Kogi State is having a lot of distractions, a lot of political enemies and opponents, led by former governor of Kogi State, Yaya Bello.
She also has supporters who came out en masse to support her.
See, let me tell you, Yemi, with the current situation of Natasha Akpoti in PDP, in Kogi State now, it will be very difficult if Natasha will not be realigning. It will be so difficult for her. The situation that made her to emerge, then will not be there now. Natasha emerged through the court process, not through election. The victory was later given to her by the courts. So, see, that will not be there in 2027. So there is a need for her. And don't forget that Natasha's husband, Uduaghan, is a very close associate of Senate President Akpabio. Very close associate. They are friends.
Even Natasha, they used to be very close.
They are friends. They are family friends. So it is becoming clear and clearer to Natasha now that there is a need for her to realign. Natasha is a member of PDP. Where is PDP in Kogi State today? Even in the National Assembly. Like a week, 2 weeks ago, she was complaining that even when she raised her hand, nobody calls her. So, it is becoming clear to her now that she cannot continue the way she has been going for the sake of her constituency and for the sake of 2027. See, there is no good politician. We have very scanty ones that have a bit of interest of their people at heart. All what they think of is 2027. Natasha wants to make up again with Akpabio. It is now left for Akpabio to take his decision. There is nothing wrong for Akpabio to attend Natasha's project commissioning. There is nothing wrong. Natasha is a senator, is a member of the Nigerian Senate. Akpabio is the Senate president. So, a senator of any political party in the National Assembly, in the Senate, you can attend this project commissioning. In the Nigerian Senate, there is no PDP, there is no APC, there is no Labour. They are all Nigerian senators. So, if Natasha has invited Senator Akpabio to grace his project commissioning as the Senate president, yes.
You think he should attend, yeah?
Oh, of course, he should.
Nigerians are saying he needs to be careful.
Yes, some people are saying that Akpabio should not spend the night there. Akpabio should just go and come back that same day. See, that is not the issue. You understand? Akpabio has been invited to grace that occasion. If he can decide to spend the night there, nothing will happen. He can decide maybe Natasha will now come during the middle of the night. We now, all of these things, they are games. They are just playing games. These guys, they are just enjoying themselves. Don't be surprised. Next month or even next week, Natasha can announce a defection to APC. What will happen? You now be seeing Natasha and Yaya Bello sitting down together. You now be seeing Natasha and Ududu sitting down together. Someone that you want to remove almost 4 or 5 months ago. And that is politics. You know, politics is about my interest. You know, I go to where my interest is protected. You know, it is not as if they like Nigerians. It's not as if, you know, they want to serve us. And, you know, it is their personal ambition, selfish interest.
Okay. I don't know, very quickly, I don't know if you've seen this video where the sister-in-law to Akpabio came out to say, I'm going to expose, you know, Senator Akpabio.
Almost a month now.
He has a case in France. He was almost arrested.
Almost a month now. You know, when this is not the first time that someone governor of Akwa Ibom, Umwenu, when his wife died, I think his first daughter or something, or maybe second daughter, came out and said he's going to expose the governor. That, you know, see, as a politician, as a public officer in Nigeria, especially in Nigeria, you know, people comes out with so many accusations. They come out with so many blackmails. Some may be true, and some may be false. But let us wait
to find out.
The woman come out and tell us what the problem is.
Okay. All right. A big thanks to you, Leko Shiboale, a journalist and public affairs analyst, for being a part of the program today. There are matters that we'll revisit, you know, soon enough, based on this discussion.
Sure.
Big thanks to the audience as well for being a part of the segment. Amulwayemi Atelakun. Good morning.